All of you would be knowing about the 1857 First War of Indian Independence, called also the Uprising of 1857, and which the British called the Mutiny or the Ghadar. Now, this was fought by the sepoys who were employed by the East India Company. They rebelled against the company, against certain policies of theirs, and came to Delhi, asked the Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar to lead them against the British. And that war continued in Delhi that battle continued in Delhi, or the war continued in Delhi for 4 months before the fall of Delhi. On 14th September 1857, Delhi fell into the hands of the British. We all know the vengeance that was visited upon the residents of Shah Jahanabad, or the walled city, specifically against the Muslims, whom they thought were responsible for this war, since the Basha himself was a Muslim. They called it the Mohammedan conspiracy. First of all, before I go forward, there is no such word as Mohammedan. That itself reeks of communalism. The word is Muslim. We are not followers of Muhammad. Muhammad is just the prophet of Allah and the last prophet. We follow the religion Islam, and that is why we are called Muslims. Now, to go back to the uprising of 1857, after that there was much examination of the causes, etc., and the British came to the conclusion, as I've already mentioned, that it was a Mohammedan conspiracy, and then started a very famous divide and rule policy. Now, the British divide and rule policy refers to a strategy employed by the British colonial rulers during the imperial expansion. It involved exploiting existing divisions, rivalries, or conflicts within a colonized region to maintain control and prevent unified opposition against British rule. By manipulating local groups or communities against each other, the British sought to weaken collective resistance and maintain their dominance. This policy often involved favoring one group over others, exacerbating ethnic, religious, or social tensions, and ultimately ensuring that the colonized population remained divided and unable to mount a coordinated challenge to British authority. In the context of India, this was a deliberate strategy used to maintain control over the Indian subcontinent. The British recognized the diverse nature of Indian society with its multitude of languages, religions, and cultural groups, and they exploited these differences to their advantage. They employed various strategies and tactics for this. One of them, of course, was the religious difference, where they favored one community over the other in various aspects of governance and administration, and the British ruled to prevent the two groups from coming together in a unified movement against British rule. This is what Mahatma Gandhi fought against, and what are the leaders of the freedom movement like Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, etc. fought against, and they won. Regional divisions, that is, India has a huge, rich history of regional diversity with various linguistic and cultural groups. The British played on these differences to keep different areas of India separate and prevent the emergence of a united Indian identity. All of you know about how Urdu became a Muslim language when it was a universal language, and the word Urdu wasn't even used for the language. You can see a video of mine on that. Social divisions, they manipulated caste divisions within Indian society. They sometimes gave special privileges to certain caste groups, further deepening divisions and preventing the emergence of a cohesive anti-colonial movement. Land tenure policies. The British introduced land tenure system that often disrupted traditional agricultural practices and ownership patterns. This led to conflicts within rural communities and further divisions amongst the population. By exploiting these divisions, the British effectively weakened any potential collective resistance to their rule. The policy had a lasting impact, as it left behind a legacy of communal tensions and divisions that still influence Indian society today. The struggle for independence eventually brought various Indian groups together to fight against British rule, but the legacy of division has had enduring effect on Indian politics and social dynamics. Does it sound familiar? If it does, then do your bit to fight divide and rule. Do your bit to build a secular community, a community which is not divided on the basis of religion, where one community or one religion is not favored at the expense of others.